Hi, in this video we're going to look at how to use Venn diagrams in order to find a pair of numbers whose highest common factor and lowest common multiple you've already been given. So you're kind of using the Venn diagrams in reverse from the skill that you should already know of using a Venn diagram to find the highest common factor or the lowest common multiple of a pair of numbers already. So if you just think about the method if you were going forwards, so if you had to find the lowest common multiple of 6 and 8, then you would do a Venn diagram in which you had anything common in the intersection, and then you'd put the other things in the Venn diagram like so. And then to find the highest common factor, you'd look for what's in the overlap, and for the lowest common multiple, you'd look for these things multiplied together with the HCF. So LCM would be 2 times 2 times 2 times 2 times 3. That's all of the numbers in the Venn, and the HCF would just be the 2. And we're going to apply this to what James has said in this question. James has said he's thinking of a pair of numbers, and the two numbers have a highest common factor of 3. Now 3 is a prime number, so this makes this quite simple because we can put the 3 in here. And this circle is going to be one number, and this circle is going to be the other number, and that's going to be his two numbers. And we also know that when I multiply everything else that's in here by everything else that's in here and by the 3, then we get 45, because that's how we find the lowest common multiple. So what would be useful now is to have the prime factorisation of 45. And you can see in the diagram that we've got one of the 3's already in the Venn diagram. So we need the remaining 5 and 3, and they can go anywhere. For example, we could have one of the 3's here and one of the 5's and the 5 there, and that would work. So you can see here that the LCM of these two numbers would be 5 times 3 times 3, which is 45. The HCF would be the thing in the middle, the overlap, so that'd be 3. So these two numbers, whatever they are, meet James's criteria. They've got this and they've got this, so that's good. So now we just need to work out what each one is. So the first one is here, and that one is 15, because 5 times 3 is 15. And the second one is here, and that must be 9, because 3 multiplied by 3 is 9. So James's numbers could have been 9 and 15. The highest common factors of 9 and 15 are 3, and the lowest common multiple of 9 and 15 is 45. So my final answer now, when you're doing a question like this, I would expect to see all of this working out. You wouldn't need this stuff over on the left. This was me just reminding you how to use a Venn diagram to find the highest common factor and the lowest common multiple. So you wouldn't need all this stuff, but everything that I've done in blue and then use my highlighter for, that stuff, you would need all of that working out to be able to do this question and then get this final answer of 9 and 15. So now I'm going to give you a question to have a go at. This time Lily was thinking of a pair of numbers, and her pair of numbers gave a highest common factor of 9 and a lowest common multiple of 90. See if you can work out two numbers that Lily was thinking of. There's more than one possible right answer here, but use the method that I showed on the last page to have a go. You can see that this question is a we do question. So I'm going to go through this question in full in a moment, but what I'd like you to do first is to pause the video and have a go yourself and see whether you get the same as me. Okay, I'm hoping you've had a decent attempt at that question. Now, to do this question, it's a little bit more complicated than the previous page because 9, the highest common factor, is not a prime number. So I'm actually going to need 9 and 90 both decomposed using a prime factor tree. 9 is very straightforward, 3 times 3. 90 is 9 times 10. We know that 9 is 3 times 3, we just did that. And 10 is 2 times 5. And I'm just going to write this out like I sometimes would write out the numbers that we're finding an HCF and an LCM for. The HCF is 3 multiplied by 3, and the LCM is 3 multiplied by 3 multiplied by 2 multiplied by 5. So in my Venn diagram, I know that the intersection, which is the bit in here, that bit's got to be 3 and 3, because the highest common factor was 9, and so that bit has to be 9 when multiplied together. Okay. In the rest of the Venn, we need 2 and 5. Now, you could put the 2 and 5 in the same circle, or you could split them up. I'm going to split them up, so I'm going to put them there and there. If you put them in the same circle, that would also give you a pair of right answers. So if you've done that, check with your teacher to make sure that you've got it right. But I'm pretty sure that most of you will have done what I've done here. So I'll do it this way. Now, I need to then work out what these numbers are. The first number is 2 multiplied by 3 multiplied by 3, which is 2 multiplied by 3 is 6, 6 multiplied by 3 is 18. So this number on the left is 18, and then the one on the right, this one here, is 3 multiplied by 3 multiplied by 5. 3 multiplied by 3 is 9, 9 multiplied by 5 is 45. So Lily's two numbers could have been 18 and 45. Okay, so hopefully you got the same as me. If you didn't, don't worry, you might have got a correct answer in a slightly different way by putting your numbers in the Venn diagram slightly differently. That's okay. I've just realised that I didn't label this one. In which case, just double check with your teacher, but you may have got an answer which doesn't work, and obviously if that's the case, you might need to just start this video again and have another watch. So, over to you now. Here are 4 pairs of numbers where I've given you the highest common factor and the lowest common multiple. The highest common factor is always the smaller number, the first number. The second one, the LCM, is the bigger number. So I'd like you to try and work out what the 2 original numbers could have been. With some of these, there's more than one possible right answer. That's absolutely fine. So you just work out one possible pair of numbers that could have given you 8 and 24 as the HCF and the LCM. So just to reiterate, on the first question, 8 is the highest common factor, 24 is the lowest common multiple. On the second one, 8 is the highest common factor, 72 is the lowest common multiple. Third one, 10 is the highest common factor, 40 is the lowest common multiple. And on the last one, 12 is the highest common factor, and 72 is the lowest common multiple. Pause the video now, have a go at all 4 questions, make sure you show all of your working out. We shouldn't see any answers on their own. There should be full working out, looking very similar to the last 2 pages that you've seen, where I've gone through an I do example and a we do example. When you've finished those questions, then unpause the video and keep watching. Okay, so I'm hoping you've had a go at all 4 of those questions and have got some right answers. I'm going to put the answers up on the next page, mark your own work, and then show your teacher, who will double check that your working out looks correct. Okay, so your answers were, well, to get this pair of numbers, there's actually only one way. The 2 numbers would have to be 8 and 24. Second question, exactly the same. You could actually only have one possibility, and that possibility is 8 and 72. The third one, again the same. You should check with your teacher, though, as to why especially the second and the third ones could only be done in one particular way. You couldn't use the same number in both circles. The final one had 2 possibilities, but the one that I'm expecting you to have got using the Venn diagram method would be 24 and 36. And I'm sure you can look at the other 3 to work out what the other one option is. There is only one other option. Okay.